We've been streaming for 15 minutes and we haven't even talked about the game jam yet. So let's get started. If y'all haven't seen it yet, I'm gonna play the game. So let's turn off the cozy lo-fi music for now, and let's turn on the desktop audio and get this rocking and rolling. So I'll show y'all the game that we made first, and then we can talk about it afterwards. Hopefully this is a good volume. Oh heck, I have to check Reddit. Be right back. No worries, Hyper. No worries. Heyo, how goes? It's going good. We're gonna be talking about the game jam experience I recently had. Working with Angie Mayan. I haven't shouted out Angie yet. Shout out Angie Mayan. Angie is a Dutch pixel artist who also streams and apparently writes music too. So very talented person. Please go hang out with my friend Angie. They are super cool. And follow them on Twitter as well. Look at how beautiful this is. And then if you want more of this gorgeousness, go follow. Yeah, it was such an honor to work with Angie. So this is Rogue Rat. This is our game jam submission. We worked on this for about 2 weeks. And as you can see, we are this rat-based character. You can walk in 8 different directions, and it's a Zelda-like. So you're stuck in these rooms. You can only see one screen at a time, and you have to solve puzzles or take actions to complete the room. Makes music. I just click buttons and proceed till it sounds bearable. That's making music. That's a way to do it. So we gotta kill some of these slimes here. And if you want to play this for yourself, you can use !GameJam to get a link to the free download. It only works on Windows. What is this called? Game Maker Studio is dumb and doesn't let you export to Mac unless you have very specific requirements, and I don't have those, so. Whoops. Hi Bike, hello, it is so good to see you, friend, welcome in. Thought it was going to be a grid pattern. Yeah, I mean, it is slightly grid-based. The tiles are in a grid, it's just you get free movement. You made this! I did make this! Hi Bike, it is so good to see you, friend. So now we have bombs, we've got the bomb power up, and now we can start laying bombs down, as well as using our sword. Super cool. Xcode sucks, it does, it really does. I like deleted a bunch of stuff off of my laptop to download Xcode, and then it's like, sorry, your laptop doesn't support the newest version of Xcode. So I was like, oh dang. Scene notification? That's gasp. Oh, that's so cool. How did you make good sound effects? That was Angie. Angie can tell you how. I think it was beatbox.io, right? Pretty sure it's beatbox. I think I missed something in chat. Let me just check real quick. Amazing work, both of you. Thank you, Soren. Thank you. Yeah, this game is freaking cool. I'm really proud of what we got done in the 2 weeks. Like, just watch this explosion animation and the thing collapsing. Oh, that's so cool. So freaking cool. Looks heckin' amazing. Thank you, Hyper. Yeah, I think Hyper and that trans driver, who are both in chat right now, both sped run this game and got it down to like 1 minute and 3 seconds or something like that. It's super cool. Okay, so now we've got the boss, so we've got to avoid some attacks, and then we've got to avoid more attacks, and then he's gonna take a little nap, and we just poke him, and then he dies, and it says you win. So that's our little game. It took us 2 weeks to make. And now we get to talk about how we made it. So let me pull up some of the old demo videos that I made, and we can watch them together. I don't know if y'all have played Elden Ring or not, but that's a funny line that gets said. 1 minute and 3? I know what I'm doing this weekend. Let's go, Spicy. You have a Mac machine? Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Amazing, so cool. Thank you, Cicely. Tired brain doesn't understand this game, but yes, Cass, that is okay. I'm just glad that you're here, friend. You just poke him and then he dies. It's a one-hit adventure, Megan. Gonna go pee real quick. Thank you for letting us know. Yay, great job. Thank you, Cass. Okay, I need to configure OBS really quickly. Sorry, everybody. I forgot to do this before stream. So let me just add a window capture. And this will be for, what is this called? Photos. okay. Is it not capturing? That's strange. Oh, it's not capturing the video. Okay, well, what we'll need to do instead is something extra dumb, but that's okay. We can add a media source, and we'll call it media source. That's fine. I'm going to delete this after stream anyways. Local file browse, videos, Rograt stuff, day 1. And then if we hit OK, it's going to be on the top. If I transition, what happens? Oh, that's way too big. Oh, oh heck. Oh no. We gotta shrink this down. There we go. That's better. Yeah. So this is what we worked on. Oh, it didn't repeat. Wait, I need it to loop. Where's the loop button? There we go. Okay, sorry everybody, just playing around with OBS. Illy, hello, it is so good to see you. It is so good to see you. Beatbox.co. Oh no, not the link stuff. For sound effects, beatbox co, then a distort drum sound with a bit crushing. Oh, we need the music back, don't we? Oh heck. Oh, pro streamer moments. I'm sorry everybody. There we go. That's better. All kinds of filters till it sounds right. Heck yeah, Angie. Booping the sleeping animal to defeat. Yep, you right. Need to check it out. Heck yeah. Didn't know this existed. Thank you so much for sharing. Heck yeah. I was trying to figure out if there was more after the boss, but I'm glad I did get to the end fully. Artrex, thank you so much for playing. It is so great to know that you were playing. It made me feel really special when you commented in Zevi's Discord about it. Thank you, friend. You're welcome. It's one of the softwares out there that makes music easy, manageable. Heck yeah. Okay, so what you're seeing on screen right now is what we got done after day 1. Anchi is a pixel artist beast and just cranked out this quick tile set and actually sent me a bunch more art than just what I was able to get into the game. But this is what we had after the first day. It's basically 8-directional movement without the walk cycle animation, and also some collisions and stuff. So I felt like this was a really good productive day, because that's a lot to get done, like basic movement and collisions. I don't know, it felt really cool to get that done so fast. Let's go take a peek at day 2, shall we? Properties, browse. Let's see, where's day 2? I labeled all of these. Actually, this is day 3. Maybe I didn't create a video update for day 2. So here we have some more sprites put in. It looks a little bit more like a dungeon. And we also have a button in the game. And that button can interact with other entities in the room, I believe. If we go press the button, it'll open the doors. Yeah. So day 2 and 3 were spent coding the interactions between different objects. So the player touching the button is one interaction, and the button being depressed and sending a signal to all of the doors to unlock them, that's another interaction. So those two things were the bulk of the work there. It's kind of difficult to make sure that things are tied together correctly, so I felt really good after day 3 having this done. Yeah. I made a couple little games, so I know it takes way more than it looks like it does. Glad to play and critique. Artrex, you wonderful bean. Thank you. What you having? Eggs and toast? Heck yeah. God, it's wild to see the other builds again. I know, right, Angie? Yeah. That's part of the cool thing about Retrospective, though, is that you get to see how far you came in the time that you had. You kept track of the other day's progress. That's so cool. Don't worry, button. It happens to me too. Yeah. I've tried making a habit of keeping track of my my game jam progress every single day, because it's really helpful for me when I'm reviewing and trying to improve on my own work to see what I did each day that I was working on it. So that's just me being a record keeper sort of person. This says day 4. I don't really know what's different about this video, but we'll play it and see what's... Oh, there's an enemy now. Heck yeah. We also decreased the walk speed, it looks like, and we got room transitions. Oh, look at that. Oh, we're so cool. So day 4 was spent, I guess we put in the enemy. I don't think the enemy is active yet. It doesn't follow the player and it doesn't hurt the player yet. But we did get room transitions done, which felt really good. Being able to navigate the dungeon, that makes us able to create a complex map and create multi-room puzzles that span more than just one room at a time. So that's super cool. Loving all the jam emotes in chat. Let's go. Yeah, the room transition stuff was actually really tricky for me. I wanted to go with something way more complex. Angie and I had this idea that it would be more like the original Zelda, where you would see a picture of the first room and then the camera would like slide down and pan you into the second room really smoothly, but I didn't have enough time to figure that out in the code, so it just like jump cuts to the next room, which is a little unfortunate, but given that it was a game jam, I didn't have time to figure it out. So, oh well, missed opportunity, but we got other important things in the game, so sometimes you can't do it all. Now, day 5, looks like the enemy is able to move towards the player, and also respects collisions, which was something that was a little tricky. In here, there's actually a bug where the collision mesh for the enemy is larger when it's facing the right than it is when it's facing the left, but I corrected that in a later build. So you can see here the collision mesh is really big when he's facing the right, but when it's facing the left, the collision mesh gets smaller and he's able to scoot a little closer to the ledge. And it looks like we also got the sword interactions in. The sword was really interesting. The way we did it is that we spawn an invisible, basically like an invisible sword that perfectly overlaps the player's sword sprite, and then we ask the question, is the invisible sword touching the enemy? And then if so, kill the enemy. But the reason why we did that is because it would be way too difficult to determine if we were only using the player's hitbox against the enemy's hitbox, whether the enemy killed the player or the player killed the enemy. So by spawning in that third hitbox temporarily and then deleting it later, gives us the opportunity to say enemy touching sword means the enemy dies, enemy touching the player dies. And that way we can keep the two sets of logics distinct and we don't need to worry about confusing code and stuff like that. It did take a little bit of work to spawn the invisible sprite in and out, but we got there. Still crazy to me how many people compliment my music composition work. For those wondering, I do play an instrument, bass. Heck yeah, Angie. So I had rudimental understanding, but other than that, self-taught. That is so cool, Angie. I know a few musicians who are fantastic and are mostly self-taught. Let's go. Invisible sword for when you have to kill invisible enemies. True, Leo Grim. Okay, let's take a look at the next day. That was day 5. Okay. Looks like there was a little bit of a break in recording, so we're jumping to day 9. I did do a little bit of coding on days 6, 7, and 8, but it looks like the next video is from day 9, so I apologize everybody for the little jump. What about Raycast? Raycast is something I considered, but the spawning the invisible sword in and out was actually faster for me to do in Game Maker than it was to figure out all the math for raycasting. And so I just did that solution because it was easier. Sounds like a breakthrough in mental health. Let's go. A Dutch bass playing pixel artist? You're like the cooler version of me. Yeah, Spicy also does pixel art, and Spicy is also Dutch, so there you go. A wild invisible enemy appeared. What will you do? Fight, item, run, Pokeball. Cineath, it is so good to have you here, friend. Welcome in. Modern problem requires modern solution. True. Okay, so here's day 9. I'm trying to figure out what's different here. The video looks the same to me. Why is this labeled day 9 part 1? What? Let's look at this. This looks more interesting. You also played the bass? Oh, that's so cool, Spicy. Dang, so many cool people in chat right now. Alright, so here's our main menu, and then you click play, and it sends you... So we reworked the first room temporarily to make it look more like a dungeon, and then here's the second room, which stayed mostly consistent throughout the entire game. We didn't really touch this one too much. We added a few decorations near the end, but for the most part this stayed the same. And then, looks like we got bombs and swords both working together. So, between days 6, 7, 8, and 9, it looks like we got main menu. Alright, I'll count like this. Main menu, bombs, enemies, and player death, which is honestly a ton of work. That's a lot to do, so good job us. And that takes the game music. Wait, was game music playing? I'm gonna mute that. Sorry, everybody. I did not think that that was playing right now. Sorry, everybody. But yeah, this was a pretty exciting thing to record because of how much work they got done with it. And then looks like this is. Let's get to day 11. Looks like we have. Oh wait, player death was on day 11. Never mind. Here we go. No, it's just showing me the wrong video in the preview, but now it's showing me the correct video. Okay, so day 11 was designing a new room. This is the left side of the dungeon, and we have breakable walls now, and the breakable walls interact with bombs. And we also have a key with a little bit of particle effects. The particle system was a lot of fun to play with, but also very confusing to me. So that was kind of fun to figure out. And there's also a little bit of UI. If you notice in the top right corner, there's a little bomb sprite that lets the player know that they picked up the bomb ability. So we did a little bit of that as well. And throughout this whole time, Angie was sending me this art like 2 to 3 days before I needed it, and it was really exciting to be able to have like ready to go art to implement into the game as soon as I needed it, because usually when I'm working on a game I have to use what's called programmer art, which is basically like rectangles and circles to simulate what's going to be on the screen until the art comes through. But Angie was so fast, and I got to use beautiful art every single time, and that just made the game development process like a big joy. Huge joy to work. So thank you, Angie, for being so responsive and quick. Appreciate that. It's still going, Fletch? What? How is it still going? Oh, what is media source? I am so sorry, everybody. I'm so sorry. We're just gonna mute that and turn it all the way down. My bad. Sorry, everybody. Needs HP. So we actually, that's an interesting point, Cineath. We decided to go with a one-hit mechanic where players can kill the enemies in one hit and you can die in one hit, because HP is just yet another game mechanic that as the programmer I didn't want to worry about messing with for a 2-week game jam. We could have implemented it, it just would have been more work, and I didn't want to think about it, if I'm being honest. So doing one hit just simplified the game development process a ton, made things a lot easier. So need glitch cat final boss. Oh, that'd be cool. This is what Nvidia said when they made the 4000 series. Game not optimized, slams 4090 on the desk. Then I have a solution for you. The desk did not survive. That's true. With that solution comes with a burnt connector. Yep. Slaps hood of 4090. This bad boy will go so many teraflops. Let's go. I'm so fast. Yes, Angie is so fast. What do you call a warehouse full of 4090s? A brick building. Good idea. Thanks, High Bike. I was gonna say a fire hazard, but this is good too. Yeah, fire hazard is also true. What I love is that, sorry, this is a little sidetrack, but I love that GPU companies have made it so that desktop-based GPUs that are made for video rendering are no longer efficient for cryptocurrency, and so you have to buy special cryptocurrency mining computers to mine crypto, and that makes me happy because that means that I can finally afford graphics cards again, because there aren't a bunch of Web3 people buying them all up, so thank goodness. Anyways, let's look at another day. So that was day 11, so we're getting really close to the end of the jam. Angie and I have been planning this entire time to include a final boss, and as someone who is programming, I was kind of pushing off the final boss until the very end because I was worried that the final boss was going to be really difficult to do. GameMaker has this really cool thing called paths, which made it a lot easier. I could basically draw a little loop on the screen, and then the sprites would follow that loop, and that made it a heck of a lot easier. So we got the boss done in 2 days, which took us up to day 13, and then day 14 was just polish and stuff like that. So thankfully that wasn't too bad. Let's watch a little video about it. Here you go. So this is me just planning out the boss's movement. Obviously this is super unoptimized, and the boss isn't moving fast enough across the path. The hand sweep is too wide for it to be avoidable by players, things like that. But this is just me playing around with the boss mechanics, so that's cool. Nvidia raised prices though? Oh dang, I didn't know that. I love how you always seem careful about scope, with the decision of not having HP. Yeah, Manon, I don't know if this is a blessing or a curse to work with me. My past game jam partners can speak to this, but I am super anal and careful about how much scope gets added, because I know people that love to just dream big and jump into a game jam with all of these goals and ideas, and unfortunately they end up staying up till the last 3 days of the game jam or whatever. They stay up super late, they pull all-nighters or whatever to finish their project, and they sometimes come up with something really cool, but I personally like a project that's well polished and is fun to play, even if that gameplay experience is only 2 to 3 minutes. I would rather have a polished 2 to 3 minute game than I would have a kind of rough 10-minute game, if that makes sense. And so limiting scope gives us time to add things that make the game special. And hopefully my games reflect that level of polish. I don't know if they do or not, but that's always the goal I'm striving for. So, also Megan is stretching me. Megan, thank you so much for redeeming Heckin' Stretch. Everyone, stretch with me. Get those shoulder rolls in. Now that my camera's smaller, you can't see as much of my movement, but that's okay. Gonna do some tricep stuff. If y'all can't read my shirt, this is something Devolver Digital sent me. This is Devolver corporate standard gift item. I moderate for a lot of their Discord communities, and so they sent me this sweatshirt, and it's pretty cool. It's the Devolver standard corporate gift item, so there you go. After seeing people willing to play... Oh, seeing people willing to pay? Yeah, that's disgusting. Crypto now, I've got a friend. Just pay me a bajillion dollars. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Pledge was a delight when it comes to keeping expectations realistic. We toned back down a little overall, but in general we accomplished what we set out to do. Yeah, Angie was awesome to work with because they were also very willing to scope down. I've worked with some other people that kept trying to push for more things because they just love to dream, and that's awesome. I think dreaming and creativity is a huge strength of a game developer, but I also try and be realistic with how much I can get done. That's great though. Can I consult you for how to rein in ideas if I get over ambitious? Soren, always. I'm always happy to see you in my DMs regardless, and I would love to help consult in any way that I can. Just shoot me a DM. You don't even have to ask. Same energy as they made me a mod and all I got was this shirt. True. I want that too. That said, I recently got from another developer a pullover. Let's go, Leo Grimm. It totally makes sense. This is my favorite approach. I think it's smart to keep scope in mind while dreaming of big. And to me, big is also not crunching and making sure you can polish. Yeah, Benon. Exactly. You said it so well. Having a realist on your team seems like an asset, someone to keep you on task to the goals you set at the beginning. Aw. Well, I'm glad that Chad is on my side. I have a habit of not having scope while working on a project. It's so hard, Hyper. It's so hard. That is very generous, thank you. I'll definitely take you up on that once I get going with it. Let's go. Hyrule! Hyrule, hello! Quack to you too, friend. Let's put another clip of this boss on the screen. I have a couple more that we can look at. There you go. Hyrule, thank you so much for 7 months. That's wild. Thank you, friend. That is so cool. Quack to you too. I don't know. I'm speechless. 7 months is a long time. I can't believe that y'all have been supporting me for so long and been my friends for so long. It means so much to me that you all hang out with me. So thank you. Thank you, Hyrule. Appreciate you. Quack to you too, Soren. Quack to you too. Here's one example that happened today. Oh, please tell. The only thing I would have loved to add was a dedicated puzzle room. Yes, Angie, I agree. Other than that, this was a cool showcase of our combined efforts. I agree. Yeah, that is one thing I'm a little bit remiss about. When we were dreaming of the project, I was imagining like pushing pots onto buttons to unlock gates to make something happen, but all of those interactions were a bit much, and so it felt like the best quote-unquote puzzle was just using knowledge of previous rooms to progress in the game, and so you are just exploring around just for the heck of it. You find bombs and then you realize like, oh, maybe I can use these bombs for something, and then you walk into another room and you're like, oh, there's some walls here, maybe the bombs will interact with the walls. But beyond that, there's really no quote-unquote puzzle. It would have been cool to have a puzzle room, but it would have added too much scope, I think. So I'm glad that we didn't in the end, but oh well. I was making a VS Code extension that can decrypt and encrypt a game file, but I forgot to realize that VS Code can handle the size of the... Oh. In the end, the size of the file caused all of the extensions, including mine, to crash and not accept any command except some core command. Dang, Hyper. That sounds like a difficult problem. Yeah. I don't even know how I would go about solving that. You're doing it in a class too? Oh no! Oh no. Okay, let's look at the final update. This is day 13, part 1, and it looks like I didn't include any updates after this, so this will probably look pretty similar. But after this is just the full game. I think this is just the full boss loop. Yeah, so it gets stunned and then he resets and then the boss will play over again. So if you miss the boss head the first time, you'll get another chance. You just have to avoid the attacks a little bit more. Wait for the boss to finish, and then you can go up and touch him. Yeah, easy peasy. So 3 hours wasted not listening to the teacher? Oh no, Hyper. Oh no. And before one of Fletch's game jams turns into a Devolver project? Sinith. I would love that. That would be a dream come true. I was glad that the playthroughs I've seen had that, oh, I can't reach the key yet, then go to the bomb room and back, realizing, oh, maybe that's what the bombs are for. Yes! I watched the VOD of Solder playing. Solder Art was the host of this game jam. Let me give Solder a cheeky little Twitter shout out. So y'all can go follow Solder. Solder is another game dev / pixel artist. Has super cool streams. It's a very fun person, and I think she's worth checking out. So is it that? I think that's the right person. But yes, please go check out Solder. Solder hosted this game jam, and Solder did exactly what Angie said. She walked into one room and was like, huh, I wonder how I get that key, and then walked into a different room and was like, oh, there's bombs, like I can use these bombs on the thing. So yeah, I don't know, it was really cool to watch people play. Obviously watching people speedrun was also super fun. Just a huge blessing that people are like interacting with the game in such a visceral way. That's always like the hard part about game jams, is that usually your fellow contestants and people will play the game for you, but a lot of times, what was I? I just lost my train of thought. Oh no. Oh yeah, people from your game jam will play your game, but it's harder to get the broader community to play your game. So it's always really encouraging to see the game jam game that you made go beyond the community of just the like other devs. So to everyone who's played it and shared with me that y'all played it, thank you so much. That honestly just makes game dev worth it. The reason why we code and make projects and do art and music and stuff is because we want people to play it. I just noticed we got so many Coddle mods in here. Hi guys, let's go Hyper. Still tired after getting a tooth pulled? Oh no, Sineath, I'm sorry. If you ever need a writer world builder on a longer project, I'm your dude, Sineath. Listen, I'm about to switch over to showing the game I'm working on next, and I might need a writer, question mark. The project is still super early stages, but writing is definitely not my strong suit, so you should take a break, dude. I can't imagine how hurt that would be. Exactly. You mean Devolver mods? We follow each other around? Yeah, heck yeah. Sineath also streams if you didn't know. Most game dev, I've seen this fun feature in another game that I want to integrate into our game. Video game producer, funny. I recently seen American Psycho and want to axe it instantly. True. I need to give Sineath a follow? Yeah, please do. Well, I mean, we can even give Sineath a shout out. Sineath does a lot of charity streams and also speedrunning streams. Super cool person to hang out with. So please go give Sineath a follow. Also, bird cameos. If you like birds, Sineath has a pet bird, so that's pretty cool. Okay, I'm gonna turn off the media sources. It's distracting me. I'm sorry. Sorry, everybody. Yeah, so that's kind of the game jam in retrospect. Like I said, Anchi was incredible to work with. We got all of our like basic goals done. We didn't get too many stretch goals accomplished, but that's okay. It means that we scoped appropriately when we were first planning, and that's good. Good job, us. Yeah, things that didn't go well was just that, completely unrelated to the game jam, my work got intensely hectic during the game jam time period. Like, pretty much overlapping that 2-week period was when the work life got also crazy. It like started when the game jam started and it ended when the game jam ended, so that was unfortunate. Just some team reshuffling and stressful issues happening in a production environment that we needed to fix and stuff like that. So it was a lot, and I told Anchi, I think on Monday of the second week, like, hey Anchi, I'm not doing so great. I just wanted to let you know that we might not get as much done as we had hoped because I'm struggling. And Anchi was super chill about it. Thank you, Anchi. And we ended up getting more done than I expected, but just having that freedom to rest and take a break, and not feeling like my teammate was pressuring me, helped so much. That was super helpful. So thank you, Anchi. That is super cool of you. I just noticed that we passed our follower goal. Thank you, everybody. I'm gonna set a new goal real quick. There we go. Okay, I missed a lot of chat saying all of that, but yeah, I had a great experience overall. This game jam was one of my favorites for sure. Funny story, I haven't streamed a long time, but I'm planning to start again. Let's go. Time has been on Team Green Gaming. Let's go. Already did Loki told you, but I'm all for jumping into art for your games, dude. Thank you, Angie. Yeah, and you already did art for Earthquake, which is incredible. So I'm really excited to see more of that, and Angie will definitely be working again in the future. That is pretty much guaranteed in my mind, so. He was in my VC once, he's very chill. Heck yeah. It means you didn't get enough Kickstarter funding. It's okay, it happened. Small ad, Team Green Gaming is a speedrun event that happens twice a year to raise money for causes looking to make an effective change to our climate crisis. Thank you. Sineath, let me shout out once again to Team Green Gaming. I don't even know if I followed them. I haven't, yeah. Okay, now I'm following Team Green Gaming. But thank you for organizing all of that, because all of your charity efforts are super cool, and I'm gonna try and catch the next one. Really cool showing this progress. Love this idea. Thank you, Soren. Yeah, I think one of the coolest parts about Game Jam retrospectives is that we can share with people what it's like to make a game, and we can show like realistic progress of what's happening, and hopefully help humanize game development so that when a AAA game comes out that's got a lot of bugs, we have some patience and understanding with the devs about why it's not good. and instead of ranting on Twitter about it, we can understand that game dev is hard and takes a lot of time. Oh no, that sounds bad. It's okay, Hyper. It's fixed now. Things are okay. So I will tune in if it doesn't collapse on my school time. Let's go. Really important to take those breaks when you need it? Yes, of course. Breaks are super important, and mental health always comes first. Everyone take a sip with me. It's been a while since I've taken a sip and my throat hurts. Oh, delicious. Also, Fletch, if you ever need help fixing a bug, you know who to go to? Thanks, Hyper. Yeah, I'll definitely let you know if I need help. Let's transition to looking at the game I've been prototyping. So, as I alluded to earlier, the next project, and I say next, I really mean like I'll be working on it side by side with Earthquack just because I need something else to spur my creativity a little bit, is a text adventure. If you're unfamiliar with text adventure games, it's basically just you're prompted with some words on screen, and then you reply to it with your keyboard. So it might say that you walk into a dank dungeon, and the dungeon is really dark, but you find some matches in your pocket, and then you would type into your keyboard like light match, and then the match would lit, and then the game would give you a description like, as the room lights up around you, you notice that there's a doorway out of the dungeon, and then you would type go doorway, and then the game would interpret the words go doorway as walking out of the room, and then it would present you with the next room's dialogue and things like that. So it's basically like a choose your own adventure book, or it was inspired off of tabletop RPG games like D&D. Lots of improvisational storytelling roots there, and you basically just interact with the game by typing on your computer to create a story. It's one of the very first formats, maybe even the first format that video games were created on. So this is like calling back to the very, very early roots of video gaming in general. And so I'm really excited to be working on this project. There's been a lot of chat, so let me just scroll back up a little bit. Casa, hello. So good to see you. Return from the outer wilds of Wales. Welcome back, Casa. Thank you so much for being here, friend. Lua, you love Lua? Hyper, me too. Lua is freaking great. Fletch, if you need someone to give you totally not ridiculous or difficult to program ideas, I am not your guy. Hyrule, I will come to you for all of the easy ideas. Glad you... Oh wait, no, you said totally not ridiculous. I will come to you for all of the ridiculous ideas. I actually have a game ideas list, and people will sometimes just message me and be like, hey, this game sounds really cool. The most creative one that I have on the list right now is a piece of toast in a mech suit doing something. I don't know what it is, but the prompt was piece of toast in a mech suit, and I think that was hilarious. So we're gonna make that at some point. Glad you made it back. Fletch is pretty far from there. That's true. Pressuring your team members typically results in things going directly the opposite way of what you want, showing understanding, thinking of rescoping and adjusting with them, giving them control over how much they deem possible is the way to go. Angie, you are a gem and you should be protected at all costs. Gotta give huge props to the game devs. Coding just looks like a slog. You really gotta love what you're doing. It's true. Fletch is very far away. Most people here are, I think. Yeah, that's fair. Have you heard of Luau? I have not. I have not heard of Luau. By the way, what do y'all think of the narrower view? I thought there was too much empty space in the camera, and this also lets us see the entirety of the window. So I think it's better. I'm pretty certain that y'all are gonna find it better as well, but just wanted to ask what y'all think of narrow screen. I like it, so. It's the language that was used in Roblox, just Lua, but with typing and some optimization. Oh, cool. Cool. Typing in Lua, I don't even know if I would like that or not. Didn't even notice, which is probably a good thing. Heck yeah, let's go. Okay, anyways, so back to the keyboard text-based adventure. Some goals that I have for this game is I want the game to be approachable and accessible, and I want it to be accessible in a lot of ways. This is like a really big project for me because of how much I want to do with it, but essentially beyond just like the story and narrative elements, which of course are going to be there, I really want this game to be, I have like a couple rules in mind for what I'm going to do with it, basically. Gotta say, Fletch, I've had a heck of a personal adventure in the last month or two. Oh no, Sinead. I'm so sorry, but I would love to hear about it if you want to DM me. I'd love to catch up with you. It's been a while. It's live TypeScript? Oh, that's cool. Back from holiday and have laundry to do? Laundry, no. So my goals for this game are, instead of typing in text prompts, I want to present the player with a hard-coded list of what they can do or not do. It's good things? Oh, heck yes, Sinead. Let's go. So rather than making the player guess, like, can I look at this chair, or can I walk into this room, or could I fight the monster, I want to just present them with a list of choices, like, look. And then when they click look, it would give them a list of options to look at, like, look at the wall, look at the crack, look at the doorway, look at the locked, look at the key, I don't know, whatever. So that way, that like setup and format really helps people that struggle with reading comprehension, because it can be really difficult in text adventure games to decipher what you can do or not do when you're not given a list of things to do. And rather than making the player struggle and puzzle it out for themselves, in the hope of keeping it accessible and approachable, I want to excuse me, I need more water. I want the players to be able to contextualize what the game is trying to get them to do by just showing them what the game's trying to get them to do. It removes some of the puzzle-like atmosphere, but I think it's beneficial in the long run to get more people able to play. I also want to add syntax highlighting, so anything that is interactable in the room, I want, like, if there's something you can pick up, I want it highlighted in red, and if there's somewhere you can go, I want it highlighted in green, and if there's something you can observe, I want it highlighted in blue. Like, things like that, I want to add highlighting to the text of the game so that people know what's important and what's just, like, filler explanation stuff. I think that could be really helpful too. Obviously, I want to use different fonts. Obviously, a big portion of our population struggles with reading comprehension, whether it's, or I guess like reading in general, whether it's like ADHD, dyslexia. There's a lot of people that struggle with something called Erland syndrome, which makes reading really difficult. The words look like they're like fading in and out, or like they're jiggling around even when they're not. So I want to add like screen readers, and I want to add different fonts, and I want to add font sizing. So the game has to be like super flexible with how it just presents information to the game or to the player. But those are the goals that I have in mind. And super stretch goal would be, one, localizing to other languages. There are some free tools online where you can give your game to the community, and the community can take a look at all of the text in your game and spend some time translating it. I would love to do some sort of translation to make it more than just English. And the second thing I would love to do is to either voice over myself or pay a voice actor, which would be even better, to voice all of the dialogue and lines and things, so that people who are blind can interact with the game as well. So like that would include reading off menu options out loud, reading the dialogue, things like that. I would love to work on that, and that would also be a really good source of research for me, because I want to learn more about what it means to make an accessible game, because I don't know that much right now, but I want to learn. So I'm hoping to work with to find good resources about accessibility in video games, and learn and grow a lot as a person and as a game dev in those areas. So those are the broad goals. Just make a engaging narrative, but also approachable and accessible to all sorts of people. Yeah, I would love to do something like that. Anyways, let me show y'all what I've done. This is very little progress. I've just been working kind of slowly throughout this week in between different other stuff I'm working on, but y'all can see it. Hopefully, it's gonna load. There we go. So I've started working on the menuing system. Got a couple cute little animations, and you can scroll through. That's all that we've got right now. But I just threw in some random words. Those words don't mean anything. They don't do anything yet. But what I'm kind of thinking is that the bottom portion of the screen will be meant for the menu, and then the top portion of the screen will be meant for displaying the text and things like that. And what another cool idea that I have is that you'll see like it'll be kind of like a chat messaging system. So like when you get a story prompt from the game, it'll show up on the left-hand side of the screen, and then when you respond to it by clicking on a menu option, it'll like slide up, and then your response will be here, and then the next game prompt will be here, and then your next response, and like you'll have this like history that you can scroll through of all of the different actions that you took during the game. So you'll have like a full timeline, and it'll read like a storybook. And then if you ever get stuck or need to backtrack or something like that, you'll be able to scroll up through the timeline and click on a location, and the game will basically undo all of your actions up into that point, and then you'll be able to start from there and take a different path if you want. I just think that would be a pretty cool system. I don't know if it's good game design or not, but I think it would be kind of cool to work on. So, oh well. Wait, game dev that I'm capable of helping with would gladly help with voice stuff? Oh, Hyrule. That'd be amazing. I will definitely keep that in mind. Let me write a note to myself that you're willing to do that, because that would be incredible. Ask Hyrule_dad about voiceover work later. There we go. Note made. Yeah, I would love to get people involved. I hesitate to ask the people that I know that are good at like storytelling and voice acting and art and things like that to help me with personal projects like this, because I can't pay. I'm simply just not making enough income, and I'm obviously not funding my games through Kickstarter or things like that. So I hate to make people spend time doing something and then not get paid for it. And I can't even promise revenue share because I might not make enough to share revenue. But anytime people volunteer, it makes my heart so happy. So I write names down and I ask people in the future. So license, you gonna open source it? Yes, I am. The goal, the like nerdy game dev goal of this hyper is actually that the engine will be able to read and parse JSON files, and then anyone who wants to make a text-based adventure and they know how to write JSON can just write a JSON that gets parsed by the game engine, and then will be able to play their own story adventure. So I'm going to open source it, MIT, so people can modify it and make mods and whatever. Yeah, I'm excited about it. Very little progress. Sounds like the title of a super hard Kaizo game. Fair. Well, it needed to be well indicated to people don't accidentally want to backtrack. Yeah, agreed. Yes, it'll be very explicit UI interaction to go back in history for sure. I wonder if anyone would like my voice acting. I do it for D&D when I get to DM. Oh, Siniath, I'm gonna write you down as well. Heck yeah. I'm also gonna ask Spinesmith. If y'all don't know Spinesmith, Spinesmith is super cool. Also does some voice acting. If we get multiple voices in the game, that'd be amazing. Be amazing. You know that we were willing to do it for free? Thanks, Hyper. Told you before, I'm all in on getting you to that point. Here if you need anything. Thank you, Hyrule. You legend. You absolute legend. And with that, we've pretty much wrapped up our available stream time. So we're gonna go raid out. Claire would be great too. Claire would be great, wouldn't? Yeah, you're right. You're right. Let me make notes. Claire, Spinesmith. Also here, Okay, hyper. Love it. Thanks, everybody. This is why, like, this community is amazing. Y'all are so good. I wish I had time or a nice voice like you for voice acting. You know? Leo Grimm, you're so busy. You're doing so much good work out there, I don't think you need to stress yourself out about adding more to your plate. Programming, of course. Let's go, Hyper. Let's go. I think I already know who we're going to raid. I'm just going to check Twitch real fast to see if there's anyone else that comes to mind. But I'm pretty sure we're going to be raiding James B. Barrow because it's one of his very rare game dev streams. Yeah, it's going to be James. And we do game dev. James is doing game dev right now. It kind of just makes sense. But before we do that, just want to remind everybody, tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to be playing Prey 2017. And Prey 2017 is a spooky sci-fi first-person game. There will be scary sound alerts. There will be a lot of fun. You're going to see Late Night Fletch, who's super tired and barely keeping his eyes open. So please come hang out. I would love to see you there. I can't wait to celebrate Spooky Month with y'all and have a good time. So I would love to see you there, 10 p.m. Eastern. If you're not there, we'll be back next Wednesday. I had to skip last Wednesday's stream for work stuff, but we'll be back next Wednesday doing more game dev. Probably working on this keyboard adventure. So thank you all so much for hanging out. I'm going to click the raid button once I find James. Gotta type in the name, apparently. There we go. Start raid. And I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your day, a wonderful weekend, and maybe I'll see you tonight. Bye-bye!